Errol Spence Jr., Yordenis Ugas wrapped up last night. I want to give you guys a full post-fight breakdown, 7 minutes or less. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. Let's get right into it. So we had conversations last night. The comment sections have been crazy. Twitter's been crazy. First and foremost, shout out to my man Andrew G. Shout out to my man Robert S. Shout out to Coach Joe. Shout out to Jason G. You guys know what it is. We've been having conversations about this upcoming bout for, I don't know, the better part of 10 days. And now we're on the other side of it, so we get to break it down. So for me, the fight took place in 3 phases. The first 2 rounds, Errol Spence was Errol Spence's jab phase. Round 1, he landed 6 jabs. Round 4, he landed 6 jabs. No other round after that did he land any more than 3 jabs. I think it's obvious why. He was able to identify that Yordenis Ugas didn't have a lot for him initially. And he said, well, cool. If I can stand in the pocket and just bang on this dude and get him out of here, that's what I'll do. The second phase of the fight for me was creating leverage. Now, you take a look at the photo right here. And, you guys know, normally I use clips. And there's a lot of evidence to support this. But Showtime and CBS Sports, they don't play games. They will come for your ass if you use their intellectual property. So I guess I got to fly out to one of these fights and get my own. But if you look at the photo, like I mentioned, Errol Spence Jr. lived in the leverage position. As the southpaw fighter, he picked up his lead foot and put it on the outside of Yordenis Ugas' lead foot, so foot and head on the outside, and he destroyed Yordenis Ugas. And it was shocking because Ugas, his camp, his corner, whether it was going to be guidance that he was given by his corner or him making the adjustment in the ring, he never made the adjustment. Could that be because of pressure or whatever? But when it's southpaw versus orthodox, you have to fight for that lead foot position, that lead head position. And Ugas simply did not do that. He just let Errol Spence dictate where that fight was going to take place, live on the outside, away from the right hand of Ugas primarily, and did a lot of damage. Now, where Ugas did have success with the right hand is at mid-distance. We saw that he clipped Errol multiple times, but by and large, that leverage position was given to Errol Spence, and he took advantage of it. It's obviously worked on it, and shout out to him, shout out to Derek James. The third phase of the fight for me is when it could have been stopped, really. At some point in time, Yordenis Ugas was down bad. He had taken a significant amount of damage. He had moments where he clipped Errol Spence, but by and large, Spence responded really well and with vigor and anger. Like, he would get hit with, I'm not talking about the mouthpiece shot. He would get hit with a good shot and kind of like, oh shit, that was a cool shot. And then he would cheese and say, now I'm coming for you. That's what we want to see in a true champion, not just Errol Spence, but anybody who we revere as possibly one of the best fighters on the planet. You get in a predicament, how do you respond? So that's the third phase of the fight for me. And then the eventual stoppage. I forgot who it was, so please don't come at my neck. I think it was Andrew G. Shout out to him. Said this fight could have been stopped 2 rounds earlier. I agree 1,000%. Because Ugas was down bad on the cards and he was taking damage. I started to look crazy like in round 4. The fight didn't get stopped until round 10. It was already started to have the acute swelling, but that's going to precede when it blows the fuck up. So I totally agree with that assessment. It was not necessary for Yordenis Ugas to continue to go in there and take the damage that he took. You look at a couple numbers here that I pulled up. If you just look at the power punch perspective, Errol Spence landed a total of 192 power punches after throwing 476. That's a 40% land rate. Look at this discrepancy. Yordenis Ugas threw 279 to 476, landed only 77 power shots. That's 26%. That's you getting lumped the fuck up. Now, the jabs were close, really, and thrown and landed, but kind of null and void because no fighter landed more than 6 jabs in any one round, and that went to Errol Spence Jr. Everything else is the total punch numbers. Yordenis Ugas did do a good job picking up his output, believe it or not. He threw 515 total punches, I believe. Where are we at? Ugas 541 total punches. Errol Spence 784. So he's right on par with where he was for the last 2 bouts. Ugas picked up his output by over 100 punches. He understood the assignment from that perspective. He just couldn't get it done against the pressure of Errol Spence Jr. For this video, the only thing I will say about Terrence Bud Crawford is everyone has said the right things. Errol Spence Jr. said, yeah, I want this fight. Let's make it happen. Undisputed, big fish, man down, yada, yada, yada. We know that Bud Crawford has been calling out Errol Spence, maybe not in the most conventional or productive way, but he's been calling him out. I admit this to you. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for whatever reason, somehow or another, this fight doesn't end up getting done. And I want to be wrong, but I'm definitely nervous. I just want to put that out there. But that aside, Errol Spence Jr. in the back half of the fight made a good adjustment of defending against shots coming from the right-hand side. He was getting hit so much and so cleanly, even hurt a couple times. You get to see him eventually, you look at the photo, go super high to grab the ear, defend over aggressively to that side. But overall, it was an entertaining fight. Yordenis Ugas just didn't have enough firepower. The leverage position that Errol Spence was able to take for the entirety of the fight, for my money, made the difference. In a different fight against a different fighter, I want to see Errol Spence go back to that jab because he has a good one. But this fight presented him an opportunity to just live on the inside and do the damage that he did. Yordenis Ugas really made no adjustments from who he was in the Pacquiao fight, and he paid for that dearly. But that's my time. This is your boy, JG. This is the Punch Report. The comments have been absolutely amazing. You guys do a hell of a job. The community that we're building here is one of the best in boxing on YouTube. I'm so appreciative. Keep that shit coming. Shout out to my man, Jason. He's on me. But it's all love, and I just learned so much from you guys, from one comment to the next. And if I can provide a different perspective or a nugget of knowledge, then my job here is done. And I constantly learn from you guys, so it's been dope. Like, subscribe, bell icon for notification. This your boy, JG. We out.